here we go. Future Land Cup. Aha. It's a map by Prof. So I guess SpeedTech, again tech. Yeah, unless he wrote already. Yo, Uli. Wer ist Granati mit Shining? Am I really alone here? I'm alone. Ja. Weird. Later I will talk a bit about it. That's something. Ah, cars on again. Oh, you have to nail through the poles. Oi, oi, oi. Can risk so much. Yes, Uli? I did. Pretty much exactly 2 AM, but there's a story to it. But let's focus on the seating for now. And why is Granati not here? Does anyone know? Yeah, but he plays Cup of the Day, so I'm confused. And where are all the others? Like, what's up with Lars lately? It's missing more and more Cup of the Days. Okay, that was a lag. Ach so, he left again, that's why he's still only 300. Uh-huh. Okay. And I have so many topics to ask. Like, what is this Racer Summit, for example? Does any one of you know? What Kanadi was talking about lately when he was playing Cup of the Day here. He's talked about the Racer Summit, and I'm not sure what it is. It's probably again only information over Twitter or something. It's just so confusing to not have Granati in last twice in a row. Yeah, because they were always the constant players in the voice chat. No, that's the time. Ahead of down. Third place. It might be safe. Does down know this map already? Like, Lars said lately, when I was in voice with him outside of streaming, he said that Down is, when he watches Down playing like when the map challenge or similar stuff where you have to fast learn, Down is really not good at it. But still, he gets into Division 1 in every Cup of the Day seeding. I know, of course, that Down knows a lot of maps already beforehand, but does he kinda know all? Because if it was true what Lars says, that Down looks really not that great in fast learning, how does he reach Div 1 all the time? Like, he immediately has your 0.3, which is a very good time, I would think. For that stage, at least. But he might know this one as well. So close. Hello, Ersa. Offline tournament in Netherlands, then 29th and 30th of July. Wait, that's soon. 64 players, €1,000 prize pool. Ja, bei Last Standards, ja. Well, I've played the Alamo Cup against Down. And yeah, he is beatable there. Lars takes quite some advantage that fast learning is such an important skill now in this game. Because he was always good in that, but before Team 2020, you didn't really need that skill. It wasn't really needed. but now also for his stream, like all the new content that comes up is always fast learning. That's so perfect for him. Let it be a random map challenge or then bingo or random map together. It's always about fast learning and many cups as well. Which I like, because I like as well to drive cups no train, because you don't need to put more time into them, more effort into them. Like the fact that back in the days you always had to train for leagues. It was usually always train matches. And yeah, I realized at some point that I'm not interested in training a lot anymore. I got too old for that. But these fast learn cups, they are of course then perfect. Because for those I don't need to train, they are super efficient, you can win without putting time into that. Only the time that this cup takes. It's very good. Was also always a strength for me, but Lars is very good with Cam 7. I'm just used with cameras a bit differently from the old Trackmania games. So a lot of stuff I don't really do as fast as him. Didn't take that over. Oh, look at that. Yeah, so far I didn't have the luck with qualifying. It's also not getting easier, even though the opponents are getting easier. He will always feel the pressure. The more he doesn't make it through, the more pressure he will feel. But I'm pretty sure there will be this one map where like he will be so dominant that he will just take it in the end. He almost got the one where Elcon came through. I mean, the fact that last comp came into the grand final on that track was pretty lucky, and it only needed now a sick loop exit from him, because he could have beaten down by pace, I'm pretty sure. Or like one mistake from Elcon in that one round, and whoopsie whoops, Lars wins. Almost happened. And he surely will be on the lucky side at some point. Upsala, to the left. Yeah, my favorite style is multi-style, I would say. Otherwise, I like RPG-ish stuff. Like mini RPG. Or, yeah, maybe also longer RPG. But yeah, the problem with RPG cups is that those are always train cups, like that's the issue. Like I like the RPG style, but I don't like the fact that it's always about training them. Now, for example, the Tom map, I'm still not 100% sure if I want to hunt for the prize money. Because it's just such a huge hunt needed for that. And the other RPG cups that end up in rounds or knockout mode, where you need to learn the whole track. And you can always improve further and further because the maps are so long. But they are so long, also means training them takes a long time. So I like the style, but yeah, it's against my no training. Granati reached Division 21. Alright, yeah, and you have to put so much hours also into the RPG maps, otherwise you do not have any chance against the opponents. It's just that simple. But yeah, it's now time to speak about my successful track of the day hunt from yesterday. I'm gonna quickly refresh to confirm, and it is confirmed. Alright, so yesterday, it's just switching the server was a bad timing. Okay, here. So yesterday, yeah, after the cup of the day, I was hunting the third map, and I only wanted to do a top 100 time there. I have to put OBS on again. And I was hunting that on stream for almost an hour or something, because after a bit of time, Pahilion came around the corner and said, "Did people already find my cut?" And I was like, oh no, I wanted to only invest like 10 minutes into this track, get a safe top 100 time and then leave and have free the whole evening. That was my plan. But Pahilion came around the corner and said, "No, Marius, there is a cut." And I knew, okay, if I want top 100, I have to do the cut. When I did the cut, found out the line, it was of course interesting to play, and I saw I can get world record, beat the basically no cut world record, and then improve it a bit further and so on. And then I got of course good on this track because of that. And I ended my stream when I was in second place behind Urix, who was second in the Cup of the Day final. And I said I might look before I go sleep again, how the standings look like, and if I need to drive again for saving the top 10. Now the thing is, I had a point 19 as PB, and it would have actually been the case that I would have dropped to 11th place if I didn't drive again. So I would have been 11th now. That means I had to make sure to improve, but I wasn't sure there, of course. I was already super tired. I started at 0:40, like 40 minutes after midnight I started. And it took, of course, some tries to even get close to my PB time. And then, however, came so the moment where I realized, yeah, I could improve this, and I did improve to a point 16, and that would have been already enough, but then I did longer. And I set myself a limit at some point. I won't do longer than 2 AM. So, now the thing. At 1 AM 50, or let's say 15 minutes before 2 AM, I got really good on the track, because I was good in the end, in the mid part, and I was also finding out that I don't need any crazy bug slides in the start. I can just take a safe and easy bug slide, and it's fast. And I understood then the way over the penalty surface much better as well. And yeah, then I got faster and faster, and in these last 15 minutes I improved my PB multiple times. And also I beat Urix very closely, like by 100. And that was only one position gain, like I was 5th when I played, and then I was 4th after I beat him. But I thought, yeah, that might be already good enough for top 10, but I can do a bit better, and I immediately afterwards did also a .08. And after PB, I always tell myself, like, I continue a bit more. The 08 came at 157. So I wanted to stop at 2. But yeah, so I decided, okay, I should be safe top 10, but I try one more good start. And then I didn't have a good start for some time. Until 4 minutes after 2. Luckily, I played these 4 minutes after 2 still. Because then I had the good start. The thing is that my .08 that I drove had a very fast start. And in my runs afterwards, I felt like, how, like, was my PB, my .08, so good in the beginning, or am I now worse? Like, why am I always like over a car length behind there? So, and then I wasn't sure. So let's focus the first round here shortly. Uh. 59th, what the heck? Okay, that was the worst drift ever. So, I luckily continued because I wanted to get one more start where I'm equal to my ghost, and apparently that was a good ghost, so I needed a very good start. And then came that run, like 4 or 5 minutes after 2 o'clock, and I had to stand up wake up at like shortly after 5. So it was, again, I didn't want to stay awake for so long, but I had that one start. And then I got also a good exit out of the penalty part. And then I just continued it. And the run that I then got, yeah, like every part was probably with the best that I ever got. Every section was the best that I ever got. And I come into the finish, like, you know, I had a lot of small improvements before. It was always like 200 or 300. And then I come to the finish, also very good barrel roll, low and fast. I showed a replay after the cup here. So it looked very good. It looked very good. And I improved by over 2/10. And I was like, yay! Now that actually was worth it. Because whenever I'm having to work on the next day, I have for the track of the day hunt only the evening. And I have to really think a lot, like how much time do I put into this hunt? Do I want top 100? What do I need for top 100? When do I stop? Do I maybe even want top 10? And now the thing is so unfortunate I couldn't drive the reruns on this map, because I think the cut was also very consistent for me. And it is always typical. I can always hunt for world record on maps that I can't play on the second day, where I am at work. And the problem is I have to set a time, and then people know the time, and on the second day they can hunt this down, and I can't answer because I'm at work. And it's always the same, also this time. But when I drove this one, even though it has beaten the old world record only by 2 single hundreds, I had a feeling like maybe that could actually stay there. It depends, of course, if they try again, and if they try to beat it, but I had a feeling like maybe it stays. If I survive Lingo, I knew at some point Lingo will hunt. If I survive Lingo, it could maybe stay. And yeah, the whole time at work today, every like 2 hours, I was refreshing trackmania.io to check, am I still there? Did someone improve in the previous minutes? Is someone getting closer? Yeah, and it ended up to be enough. And I stayed there in first. Lingo came to 4th place, a 10th behind me. Yeah, so he was there. Now in the last like half an hour, Goldie improved into the top 10. And before that IMPD. And with those 2 improvements, it wasn't clear that my old .19 would have actually dropped to 11th. And yeah, I mean, when I drive such a thing in the evening, in the night, yeah, then there's always the question, if I tried, for example, top 10, which is more difficult, yeah. It happened quite often that I hunt the map till like 3, no, not 3, till like 2 or 1 AM, like super late, and I don't have much sleep before the work, which is then very bad. And I hunted for so long, I had saved top 100 early on already, but I hunted for top 10 very long. And then in the end, I dropped down to 11. So all the work that I put in is worth nothing, and I had just less sleep, yeah, much less sleep. And then it's like the worst feeling. And I also sometimes drove for a top 3 time or potential world record time, where I got world record basically in the evening when I drove it. And then I dropped very often also to 4th, like very often 4th place, which is also stupid because the trophies that you get, yeah, it's 1 trophy if you're outside of top 10, but in top 100, it's 3 trophies if you stay in the top 10, but 4th place gets the same trophies as 10th. And just when you get into the top 3, it becomes more, and then it's also not efficient. Like, I could have stopped earlier with a run that was already saved top 10, but I hunt more to get world record, and then this world record drops to 4th is also shit, because it's also inefficient. It's also time that I didn't need to put into. And when I drove this run yesterday, I was also like unsure. Will that also drop to 4th maybe? How many people will hunt it? Or can it stay first? Or will it drop to 2nd? It's also unlucky if just one guy overtakes. But yeah, it turned out to be enough. And overall, my track of the day world records, also it is a long time since I had one. I got 2 world records on track of the days that are like, that you would maybe find stats, if there are any stats, I don't actually know. I had, however, 3 overall. 1 world record was taken away by a cheater who was then on the deadline in 1st place with a cheated time. I had such a perfect run. It was the track of the day, 1st of February 2022. You were driving on a magnet wall and had the camera from the side, and you had moving blocks there. And I had a really sick run, and then came a cheater and took away the 1st place with that, and he took away also the trophies in theory, even though that's not that important, but also like just for the statistics to be first. I was really annoyed with that, you can assume. But yeah, overall I had 3, and that February 2022 was my last world record on a track of the day. I don't often go for it, of course, but sometimes I tried a bit and then it ended up in 2nd or 4th or something. And now finally, after 1.5 years, almost, I finally got it. Another track of the day world record. Really happy. And I show you the run later, it is really good. Ah, Dawn was using my ghost, yeah. Yeah, I assume that Dawn will win the Cup of the Night by not taking the cut. But maybe he did actually take the cut. What world record am I most proud of out of any you have? Oof. Oh, that's actually a good question. Also there was a world record for a long time that I was super proud of in United. the problem with world records is always you might lose them at some point. And so I did lose that record. It was for me always like one of my perfect runs. But it was beaten many years later. And then of course it wasn't world record anymore. And I couldn't include it into the list anymore. So world records have always the risk of that. But yeah, so I actually don't... There is not that one record that pops into my mind now. From the ones that I still have. So it's really difficult. I would need to get a list of all the world records that I have, and then I could probably say it, but it's very easy to forget stuff. Yeah. How am I always in red, always in the first checkpoint, man oh man. Good end. Down out. Am I doing beachnets? Maybe. Yeah, I might have seen it. Never really remember the track name or number to which track it is. But I have a lot of YouTube channels that I watch, so chances high that I saw it. Ay. Ja, wird so ein Fokus now for this cup. The first turn brought me a bit out of my rhythm, and then I thought I'm easily through the second, and I actually opened my steering and suddenly it wasn't enough. Like, that was really weird. But I think I don't feel like that I would have the focus and the pacer to win this anyway. But it did one and we can watch the rest, and I was talking a lot, of course. I mean, you could of course think that I might not have that many records, because I did not hunt for a long time and don't really go for world records most of the times. But, well, actually, like there are things like in Canyon, he had a VTC or WTC Trial Master, which was a Canyon Trial RPG Cup, and it had also certain Scrappy, Danger. Ah, Super Kaluf in danger now. Yeah, that's a good round here. Oh, I think someone crashed. And Super Kaluf crashed as well. And is Phantom in now? No, okay. Then there was no crash ahead. Yeah, so there was then a moment where we had like each week, I think, 4 different type of maps that we could hunt for world record. There was an endurance map, like 6 minutes long, and I was really good in hunting endurance maps. It's a shame that I didn't hunt turbo endurance maps then longer, because I'm really good. Like, I always have the world records on those. I had, at least back in the days. Especially when it was Stadium, it was especially good for me, because the others weren't as good in Stadium. Then there was a micro machine map, so the camera looks from above or from somewhere else, and you have to drive with that. So that was also pretty cool. And oh, KB also dead. Klofny. Ah, it saved the round. Yeah, the one yesterday was of course unfortunate. Imagine Pahelian tells me about the cut during the dockout. Oh, and it was such a dumb decision to go for this. Like, the barrel roll is super safe. You can get a slowdown, yes, but that's still then as good as if you slow down. Ah, yeah. Especially because I knew how to do the barrel roll. I got it very often the seeding. Just because of this is already dumb that I actually go for different lines. But I didn't see that coming. Naja. Naja, and I got world record kinda every week on all the 4 maps. Also there was also a LoL map and a race map in this title pack then. Let's see if Loudest makes a comeback. Yeah, this sausage exit, I'm always afraid of losing the grip and jumping off. The thing is, when I crashed there, I don't think that I was too fast. I was, I think, opening my steering. And you could say for nothing. Wait, Loudest wins the round. He was behind in the start. He wins the round. What? No, there are actually a lot of crashed rounds. Yeah, there had a lot of world records on these maps, and these records were partly also good, especially the micro machine ones are always liked to hunt. So barely see your car, and I took it as good as if I would drive Cam 1 after some training. I had really fun with that. But these world records don't really have much prestige. It's not like I would drive here for big money or against the super best players, you know. So that are good records, and I think some of them are kinda close to a very good limit. But the prestige is missing, yeah. The 3 track of the day world records now, I wouldn't say that one of them is now my absolute favorite best one. Wait, I actually forgot something. I forgot about one world record. I actually had 3 track of the day world records, plus then the 4th one would be the one where the cheated time came, and then the 5th one would be today. I forgot about one where I wanted to say some of these track of the day world records I didn't put any effort in, and I don't know what was the reason, but for some reason nobody hunted them. My record was also pretty good, out of nowhere, but I only took like 15 minutes or something on a track that was called Bees. Like the Bienen, Bees. I got that record, like I was not fast for a long time, and then I just drove that time and that state world record. And the other map that I forgot about, that was a track of the day where I only played the last 10 minutes before the next cup of the day started, and then I just got world record there. That was one of the first. Ooh, that's close. Klofny got sniped by Link by 100. Oh my god. And Link won yesterday the cup of the day. That was a sick close round, and would have been my end maybe. Link was 6,000 faster than my PB. Yeah, also I knew the map already. Of course, but I only I was waiting for the cup of the day and played the map again, and suddenly I drove world record out of nowhere, literally. That was so confusing as well. But I can't say that I'm super proud. I'm super proud about the fact that it was so efficient, but surely that was not a perfect run, you know. I would say the one where the cheater came and stole my first place. I think that's from all the track of the days. The world record where I'm the most proud of because I also invested the most amount of time. You had to invest a lot of time. That's also sick, like look at that. Orange place, I don't know who is Montoya Beltran. It's a second name from some known player I think. But 0.1 needed. They are so close together. But yeah, there I put the most effort in. You had to of course learn all the cycles and so on. You couldn't really train it in editor anywhere. It was really difficult. And I would say there was I'm the most happy because I had opponents that also were no-lifing that map and I had invested a lot of time into it and got then the run. The kinda nearly perfect run on this track. Will Link be saved again? Yesterday we was a bit lucky. Surely I had a few world records that actually gave me money. So part of a competition. I remember there was a cup. Oh, what a line. You can drive there outside of the white line? Huh? I'm so confused. Like it's impossible for me to see that if there is black platform or black hole. Like on the full speed final that I had lately on the full speed map, I just hoped that there would be black platform, but there was actually a hole. And I was out. Scrappy in by 200s. Wow. He's almost race hunt. Yannick is doing good for this map, for such a SpeedTech style map. And whoever the Spaniard is, Montoya Beltran, I always have to think of Ravi Flyer first. Or is there just a guy called like that I just don't know, because he only plays SpeedTech? And we have also 12 still in again. Oh lol, Yannick. If 12 manages... That was also close. If 12 manages to win today, then he will be so annoyed. Maybe he will be so... like he will be happy about the win, but he could be annoyed about yesterday. Because if he had won yesterday as well, it would be 4 in a row for 12. It would be 4 in a row. But yesterday, I don't even know his position. I don't know where he ended up. I don't remember seeing him in the last, like, positions. But if he had won yesterday, then he would be very close to 4 victories in a row now. And would equal Granati with that. Now in a time where it's way more difficult to do that. Also Granati, like this achievement is crazy that he got. But you have to of course... yeah. You have to of course see that the level back then, especially in consistent driving, that was different. That was not the same. It was way easier to come far, and people were also not as fast. And Granati of course also had a little bit of luck involved in some Cup of the Days where he survived the rounds where he was in last place. And then he won 4 in a row. I also remember on what track he actually lost in the 5th one. It was a relatively short dirt map with a blind spot. But yeah, nowadays it's also so dependent on what styles you get. Like if 12 here wins 3 times and then you get an ice map, then he will probably not win again. Naja, we also have Scrappy in with a chance of well, that was very inside Scrappy. How did that not clip? Scrappy with a chance of getting another victory. And do you... It's Loco, okay. And Loco. Loco makes sense. Oh, 12. No, 12 will not make it. Yeah, Scrappy is lucky there. Twelve did not play yesterday, but why did he not play? Like after winning twice in a row. Oh god. There would have been like his chance for the streak. You don't often have the chance. Like when I win the Cup of the Day, I want to go for the triple, like winning the reruns. But you know my luck. I win the Cup of the Day when I have to work the next day. That's also the reason why I couldn't win today. Tomorrow I have free. Alright, Scrappy versus Loco. And Scrappy has the lead. Loco looked very strong though. Ah yeah, he will catch up here. That was a much better corner. Now it's equal. So I don't think that I will drive PB, because you clearly see that there was more possible. Last turn decides. Scrappy a bit ahead, different approaches. Auto slide versus this, and yeah. This was a crash. GG to Scrappy. Wait, what time did he do? Ah, I can't see it anymore. What did he do, guys? Went 0, okay. Alright. So now it's time to show you. First of all, Trophäen. 11 and is it not here yet? It's not there yet. Huh. Not io, mano. Not there yet. The trophy. Alright. Then let's show you the run. So world ranking 1. I had beaten Jarkrab and Karlberg, who set these times already beforehand. And Lingo came later in the night, drove a .96. Pninsche was also already there before I drove my run. And yeah, to what I drove in the stream, it was an improvement by over 3/10. And here we go. So let's watch it once and then I explain something to it. So this is the cut if you didn't know about it. Alright, so that's the run. So what had happened? Also first of all, you didn't need any crazy bug slide. This is just a standard bug slide that exits a bit after the checkpoint where you don't jump as high. And I found a good line over the penalty. Now here, no slide, counter steer for the gear change, again no slide. Very difficult to get both no slides. Then here exactly the counter steer when the car gears. Here this exit is super important. Also here I snap into a nose slide. This was always difficult to get inside and keep the gear. And also keep inside here and then also go into the nose slide. Like all these things had to work together. And then here a super low flip. So basically in this last chicane to get both things inside but keep the gear. That was the tough section. That was where I usually lost time. I never compared myself with Shark Crab though. I only compared to myself. And I can say I equaled a very good start from my PB and got here into the lead. And then here super far outside and strong in, kept the gear just and snapped into the nose slide. And then also the double inside here is just the reason. Also nice exit, and I didn't touch these tons, which I did multiple times before in my runs. That was all very good. And I never compared it with Shark Crab, but we will do it now. So he does a different thing here. He drifts and goes then into a nose slide. That was for me always slower. He got it very good though. He had seemingly a little bit better transition to the left turn and is this tiny bit in ahead. I have a very good exit here. I attack the inside and still keep the gear. Saved myself with that. And then I have here a very good ending. Nice. That's it, my then 5th track of the day world record.